All right, hello. Today we're going to be working on for loop some more. And before we dive too far into it, here's just a sample one reading the for loop. See if you can figure out what is going to be printed by this loop. Pause the video. All right, so this loop we start I off at 6. All right, and then we go down by 2. So we're going to go 6, 4, 2. And we keep going while we're above -3. So we go 6, 4, 2, 0, -2, and then -4 would not be greater than -3. So we would stop at that point and it would just print out these values of I. So literally this would be printed to the screen with a space between each number. Okay, so we're just going to work on writing loops. So again, today we're going to repeat stuff using the for loop. Here's this little, reminder from yesterday. It has 3 parts inside of the parentheses with semicolons separating the 3 parts. We have an initial thing that runs just once. It'll check the condition, and as long as that condition is true, it'll keep running the statements, increment the value, check the condition, keep going, keep going, keep going. As long as the condition is true, once it's false, it'll go down here and start running whatever lines come next in the program. All right, so I want to work on writing loops some more, right? I feel like that's the real challenge. And so one of the other uses for loop is to sum numbers, and this time we're going to sum from 1 to 1000, right? So what I would have you do is, if you want to use the same one from yesterday that we were doing, the for loop examples, right? If you want to keep, writing loops in there, that would work. If you want to do a whole new .java with a main, new one, you can. But I'm just going to put them right in here. So we're going to sum the numbers from 1 to 1000. If you feel confident, pause the video. If you don't, watch for the next few seconds and then pause. All right, so the trick on this one is, besides our loop, we're going to need a variable that keeps track of the sum, right? So I'm just going to make one called sum and set it to be 0 at the start. So far our sum is just 0. All right, and then basically we're going to loop through the numbers, the 1 to 1000 numbers. So I'm just going to do for another variable int I, set it equal to the first number I want, which is 1. And I want to keep going while I is less than or equal to 1000, because I want to go through all the numbers, 1 to 1000, and then just plus I. That'll increase I by 1 each time. Okay, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a single line here, so I'm not even going to do the curly braces. I'm just going to say the sum is going to be equal to whatever the sum was before, plus this value of I. So it starts off as 0, and then it adds 1, adds 2, adds 3, adds 4, so forth to that sum. So sum keeps getting updated with the whatever it was before plus the new value of I. All right, again, I don't need curly braces because it's a single line. And then I'm just going to sys out, print the sum, and rock and roll and see if we get a pretty big number, actually. Right, that's a pretty big sum. Okay, and the cool part is this is how powerful computers are, right? So if you add a 0, we could do the first 10,000 numbers. It's pretty nifty. Right? And you can start to see almost a pattern there. It's just kind of interesting. But anyways, that's the sum for the numbers 1 to 1000. All right, next up, we want to write a loop that reverses the letters in the string. So like walrus would become shurla, and parse would become shur. I don't know how to say that. All right, so that's our goal. Again, this is a pretty tough one, but see if you could think through this like in words. If you were trying to describe this to somebody, how would you describe the process you do to complete these steps? So try and think it through, sketch some things out before watching more of this video. All right, so here's kind of the general strategy, right? We're going to make a loop using I, all right? Kind of like we did yesterday, we're going to make a loop with I, right? We want to loop the letters one at a time. So yesterday we did like I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5, I guess. And then we called the substring method with I to I plus 1. So what that would allow us to do is like we would get the W by doing substring. When I is 0, it would be 1, 0 to 1, right? I and I plus 1 would look like that, and that would get us the W, right? And down here, the S would be substring. I would now be 5 or whatever, so substring 5, 6, right? And that would get us the S. I'm not going to fill in all the ones in the middle, but that's the basic idea. All right, and so we want to do that same thing, but we just want to do it backwards, right? We want to get the letters one at a time, but just go backwards. So instead of I looping 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're just going to go backwards. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then that'll get us the letters going backwards. Okay, and the general version of this, so this is specific to the string walrus, right? We'd go from 5 to 0. So generally what we want to do is we want to have I start at the length minus 1, right? So, here the length is 6, so we start at 5, right? And we want to go from that, we want to go from length minus 1 to 0. So that is what our loop is going to do, is loop from length minus 1 down to 0. So we're going to loop backwards, kind of like this. And then we're going to get the letters one at a time. And then the other part that usually trips students up on this is we're going to have a string variable, call it str or whatever, and that starts off as blank. And then we are going to append the letters one at a time to this string. So it's going to start off blank, and then in the case of walrus, it'll just append the S to it. Okay, and then when it gets the U, it's going to append it to the end so that it'll be now SU, right? And then when we hit the R, again, we just want to append it to the end, so the str variable will update to SUR, right? And we'll just keep doing that, right? And we'll slowly generate the string walrus one letter at a time by going backwards and appending it to the end of our new string or whatever, this string str. We call it new string or reversed or something. I probably should have called it reverse string or something like that. Okay, so again, if you feel like you got it, try to code all that up. If you don't, you can keep watching with me here as we'll reverse the letters. So here we go with our code, right? I've got a string, and I just named it original, called walrus. And I want to start to, again, do my loop backwards through the letters. Oh, and I should actually do this first. I should make the reverse string, and I'm just going to make it be empty at first, right? And again, we're going to add the letters one at a time. We're going to add the S, then the U, then the R, and we're going to add them in reverse order. Okay, so I'm going to do my for loop, and I'm going to start my variable. Instead of at 0, I'm going to do length minus 1. So I'm going to do the original string dot length minus 1, and that'll start at the last spot, right? Start here. And again, I'm going to do I to I plus 1 to get that letter. So, and then I want to keep going while I is greater than or equal to 0. I stop once I hit 0 or below 0, I guess. I want to go all the way down to the 0 indice. Again, this was my plan, right? It's going to look like this, length minus 1 down to 0. I'm going to call this substring thing here. Okay, and then I'm going to go minus minus I because I'm going backwards for it. Okay, so I'm going to get the letter. So I'm just going to call the original string dot substring of I and I plus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to append that letter to my reverse string. So I'm going to say my reverse string is going to be whatever it was before plus the new letter. Okay, and you could do the little plus equals there if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do it this way, the longhand way. All right, and then once the loop is done, my string should be reversed. So I'm just going to print it out, the reverse string. All right, and then we're going to see if it works. So I get surwall, right? And now let's just try one more to make sure. Let's try parse. Okay, and boom, it's backwards. Okay, so that's kind of a cool trick of a way to reverse a string. Yeah, so pretty tricky loop. But as you get more practice, you'll get better, right? For loops are pretty cool. They have some pretty powerful things. And like once you get it working once, I can reverse any string in the world using this little bit of code. All right, that is it. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day.